Hi, my name is Magicov and we are on day 200 of our Hardcore Forever world. In the previous episode, we built this monstrosity of a firework factory, as well as killing the dragon to get these wings. But all of our time in this world has left us sort of full on the item department. We're running out of space for things, so we need a storage room. We need to build something that can hold our items in the long term. Now, I could just throw extra chests into this house and call it a day, but if you guys know me by now, you know that I have to be extra. So, over here, next to our creeper farm, we are going to be building an ice fortress slash village slash storage room. And let me tell you, this is by far the biggest project I've ever done in this world thus far. This might take a lot longer than just a week to release. I hope not. But before we can do that, we have a bit of a problem. I got these wings on my back, but I find that they have just made me even more careless. I've almost died with them a few times, and we don't have totems of undying yet. We don't have a raid farm. We haven't completed a raid. So the first thing I want to do today is just do a simple raid over at the village over there, and then we're gonna make a simple raid farm out in the ocean, just so that we can have ourselves enough totems to last. I'm not like those other YouTubers who just constantly use them for funny moments. Bad Omen 4. This should help us with our raid. So let's just do it, you know? Let's just head over here to this village. Let's send these guys inside. As long as just a few of them live. I don't care about the villagers here, really. I don't remember how hard raids are, but let's do it. And the battle has begun. We got 3 iron golems around here, so they should come out to play. Alright, good job, sir. I think if we place this down, they'll try and get to it. I don't know if that's how that works, but I know they try to pick up the banners after they drop. Oh, hello. Yes. Only 2 fools left? Let me guess, he went down the cave. That's my guess. He went down this cave, because that's what all raids do. He is down here, isn't he? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, oh, what a Ravager. Alright. This is bad, actually. I'm out of blocks completely. Oh, wow. That hurts. Yeah, let's go. Iron Golem coming in clutch for me. Man, I hate raids. This is why we need a raid farm, because this village sucks. Sir, are you back down in this cave? Oh, hi. Oh, there they are. They're up there. No, sometimes I can't see my arrows. It's really dumb. Oh, they're going for the villagers. Where are the iron golems? You guys are all in the wrong place. Oh, there we go. Ow. 3 bitches. It's gonna be nighttime. I'm gonna sleep. Can you sleep during a raid? You can. And they're all in there. How annoying is this? Okay, sir. I hate these things. There it is. Oh, God. Okay, I got the totem. I'm putting it in my offhand. I got a little me. Like the last guy's way down there. Hello, my friend. Haha. As usual. No, and the iron golems died! Oh, they killed it. Is there one more round? I shot the iron golem. No! My friend! I'm here to help you! I'm here to help you! Oh god, this is bad. Is he still trying to kill me? Got another totem. That guy's still trying to kill me. So many little me's. I had to resort to free cam. These jerks are down through this abyss way back here. Like, what the hell? Trying to shoot the evoker. Why are you so fast? That's from above! Oh, hi! There was more? Didn't he? No, he did. He's dead. Oh my god. That was not really hard, just annoying. No, annoying and long. But how many totems did I get? I got 8 totems. We have so much crap in our inventory. I hope. Do you like my little totem? It's like a BOO anime head thing of my character. He's like always looking. It's cursed. That's the point. Right, so for this raid farm, I just need 3 stacks of regular blocks, 32 dirt, 30 buttons, 13 trapdoors, 3 spruce signs. Doesn't really matter what type of wood it is.
That's what she said.
2 slabs, 2 chests, I assume just for a collection system. I need 2 beds, so you guys are gonna have your protective wool taken from you. All right, there's the 2 beds right here. I'm gonna need 1 hopper. I hope I have 4 iron. That's really annoying. Let's cook the rest of it. I apparently also need a boat. I can probably just rob one from the boat launch because, let's be honest, I have an elytra. I'll never use this thing again. Then I need a barrel, and I need a bucket of lava. So I'm just gonna take one from here if I can reach. I cannot, but I'll just do that. And those are all the materials we should need. We will, of course, need another raid potion, so we'll have to get one of those eventually, but that's fine for now. Right, so now we need a spot out in the middle of nowhere. I think this should be fine. Let's put some stone here, make a little 3x3 platform. Okay, I may have lied, and by lying I mean miscalculated. I actually need 4 hoppers, not just 1. And something else we need to do is bring one of these villagers out to that place out in the ocean. So I think this guy is going to be my guy. Off we go. Thankfully, this village is very close to our river. Look at this. Why did he just throw a seed at me? What the hell? He just threw a seed at me. Bro, I do not want to breed with you. I'm sorry, sir. But, you're not my type. None of your kind are. That's racist. Chilling out in the boat in the middle of the ocean with this guy who wants to, make love with me. Don't look at him. Look at him smirking. He's like, yeah, you're the one bringing me out here, pal. I'm not the one who's trapped. So this guy is here. I am gonna sleep just right now. All right, now we can build this thing. Put a double chest there. And let's put our 4 hoppers like that. I'll put some slabs here. I just made some wooden ones. And I'm gonna place buttons on the floor to prevent anything from being able to spawn. Now, I definitely miscalculated the amount of stone I'm gonna need. I need to build this up 27 blocks on all 4 sides. So that's 8 times 27, which is way more than just 3 stacks of stone. And I ran out of stone. But, I mean, now while I'm up here, I have to look south. So south is this way. So we gotta face out this way and build out 6 more blocks. Correction, 5 blocks, so that this is 6 blocks long. And then we gotta face east and fill in this like this, and then we can fill in the rest of this. We're gonna place 2 trapdoors here, like that. Then we're also gonna place a trapdoor like this. Actually, this trapdoor has to be on the inside of the block, it looks like. So let's do this. And we bring in a ring around the rosy. Now we need the 2 beds. And we have to place them like this so that the pillows are facing in towards this corner. I'm also going to fill in these corners. Get our 3 signs. Place one here. Write something on it that you guys should totally do. Place one here. Write something on it that you also should totally do. And another one here. There we go. Just like that. The farm won't work unless you type these 3 things and do them on this video, of course. And then we just got to place our lava like right here. And just put a block above it like that. We gotta place buttons here so that nothing can spawn, because for some reason buttons prevent spawning, and one up here. And now, we need to start alternating our trap door placement along the walls. This is to prevent Ravagers from accidentally like squeezing out, because they're big and fat, right? So the trap doors will prevent them from being able to just squeeze out of the farm and land in the water. And then we just close them all. There we go. And now I believe we're gonna make the villager his home. So, let's go out here, break this block, put that button back. I'm gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And I'm gonna grab the barrel, place that down. More dirt, and then we're gonna put the area here like this, and then break that dirt. Now I gotta make a staircase for this man. So he should pathfind it on his own. Okay, he's up. Now let's get him in the hole. There we go. He's a villager now. And then, sir, I'm sorry, but I have to seal you up for all eternity. This is what you get for trying to flirt with me. I can get rid of all these dirt blocks. And yeah, so the farm is done now. Have no way to test it at the moment. I do kind of want to put a torch in there with him, just so like a zombie doesn't spawn on him. I don't know if that can happen. All right, so that's done. So now we can get to work on our actual main project, because I'm not going to spend any more time lollygagging. This project is insanely huge, and it takes even more resources than any other build we have ever made. Right, so now that we're all done with that, let's get to work, because, like I said, this is going to take forever. But thankfully with our shulkers, well, our empty ones, which I'm going to craft, hopefully with that we'll be able to get all the materials quickly-ish. Maybe. Somewhat. Okay. It's resource gathering time. So I once again found myself returning out to the iceberg biome to get a crap ton of packed ice, normal ice, and blue ice, because this is a frozen build, and I don't think I need to explain further. I mined so much ice, I actually had to go and kill some of these skeletons for some XP to repair my pickaxe. When that wasn't enough, I went down into a cave and collected a bunch of ores for even more XP. Some of these iceberg biomes have just patches of blue ice, which is very useful because if I couldn't just mine this, it would be hellish to craft. Thankfully, I could gather enough right here. On my way back, I found a birch island, and I actually invested some time in getting a whole bunch of birch because that's going to be another major block for this build. I found myself back up on the snow mountain where the goat launched a horse off. Thankfully, it didn't happen again this time. Well, maybe unthankfully, because that was kind of funny. I went back to my villager trading place just so I could get even more XP to fix up my tools. A big material was calcite. Thankfully, I had a calcite mountain near me, but I actually exhausted its entire supply. So the next time I use calcite, I'm gonna have to find a new one of these. And oh god, here comes the most annoying part of this video for me. Mining the quartz. This build took thousands of quartz blocks. And at the time, I completely forgot about the mason villagers. Something that somebody pointed out to me after the fact is that I could have used the mason villagers to trade me the quartz blocks that I needed for this build, but instead I spent multiple hours in the nether mining quartz. For the next several hours on this world, my life consisted of going to the nether, mining quartz with silk touch, bringing it back to the overworld, getting a massive tower of quartz, mining it all down, and then realizing I didn't have anywhere near enough and repeating the process. I literally hated this. I genuinely despised this process of the resource gathering collection. But one cool thing that happened is while I was mining the quartz, I actually found some ancient debris. I don't know how rare this is to find it at this Y level. I'm like super high up, but it's my first piece, you know? The fun thing about editing is I can see just how long I did this for. It's 6 straight hours of quartz mining. 6 hours. Why didn't I remember the Mason villagers? Why? That would have been so much easier. Oh my god.
One eternity later.
There are just some activities in this game that make you really just annoyed. One is mining quartz. That is what I've been doing for probably the past 6 or 7 hours across a couple days. This probably still isn't even enough. We still have, I should have learned my lesson from the tower, the creeper farm, but I didn't. Like, look, we have all these already, and then we have all of this, which we're gonna craft into quartz. I could make a bartering farm, I know. I could just do it. Make a gold farm connected to a bartering farm, AFK to quartz. But I'm also kind of curious, see just how much I've mined. I'm gonna check my statistics here in a second. That's not enough. I don't have enough quartz still. Oh god. It might be. We'll see. If I need to get more, I will. But how many have I mined? Times mined. Oh my god, that's my most mined block in the game. It's my most mined freaking block in the freaking game. Are you kidding me? I've mined more quartz than stone. Oh my god. Well, hopefully we won't have to do this again. I gotta cook all this. That's gonna be even more annoying, I think. I don't know, do I have 8 regular furnaces. Can you tell that I'm like genuinely burnt out? And I haven't even begun gathering the other materials yet, really. I got the ice and stuff. Never let me build with quartz again, please. Please, in every single video I ever make, I need you guys to comment reminding me never to build a quartz again until I have a bartering farm. Just don't let me. But finally, I was ready to move on to some other resources, and I still needed quite a bit of everything else too. The quartz wasn't the end of it, it was mostly just the start. I returned to my abandoned mineshaft to gather more andesite, and when I got home, I crafted all the andesite into all the little andesite components I needed. Eventually, I got bored of my Totem of Undying looking exactly like me, so I decided to change him into a little happier version of me that can blink and has a sparkling face. So anyways, back in the mine I go to mine some stone. The majority of the stone will be turned into stone bricks. I set up a lot of shulkers and a couple of chests up on the mountaintop to store all my items at. The material list for this build was absolutely insane, by the way, and it included even more things like diorite. Another one was copper. I went around my area collecting a bunch of exposed copper because this build took copper grates, and I'll show you why. These chests are looking absolutely insane, as usual. They always do when I make one of these projects. This build once again required light gray concrete powder, so I went out to a nearby jungle to get a bunch of sand. And of course, to make concrete you also need gravel, so back to the gravel mountain I go. I went on a quick flower hunt, and finally I've created a whole bunch of concrete powder. I brought a stone cutter up to the chest so that I could turn some of these quartz into the different quartz blocks I needed. Now it's time to challenge the statistic of quartz with another block, the spruce log. This build took thousands of these, and not specifically just the block itself, but all the different components it can make, like chests, stairs, trapdoors, you name it. I probably placed it in this build. And of course, with any build I make, I needed probably a shulker box of tough blocks, because why not? Except this block's actually fun to mine. I don't know why. I feel like it shouldn't be, but I just really enjoy collecting this block. Now, I didn't just need spruce wood, of course, because why would I make my job simple? I also needed tons of dark oak. Thankfully, we had collected saplings early on, so this wasn't too big of a problem. And of course, more spruce wood. The grind never stops. Back on the chest monster mountain, I created a whole bunch of my birch logs I had chopped into stripped birch logs because I needed it. Can you tell that this recording took a lot out of me? I feel like I genuinely lost my mind during this build. Especially when I had to go chopping down several stacks of oak logs again. Why is the most basic wood in the game so hard to collect large quantities of without a farm? Why can't I make like a double thick oak tree? Why isn't that a thing? You can make dark oak. And like with the birch, I had to create a whole bunch of it in the stripped logs. I headed back to my house for some wool, and I destroyed the top layer of a mountain because I need lots of dirt for pathways. Although I have to say, digging the dirt and seeing my creations in the background was quite a sight, especially through the fog. Oh, look at that, more spruce wood. I had to return to the end again. Remember last episode where I said I wouldn't come out here for a while again? Yeah, this build takes end rods. I didn't have any. So, hello End City. I hope you don't mind if I just take all the light away from you. I could list everything I gathered, but I think that's gonna take a little too long, especially with this resource list. It's insane. One notable thing that did happen though was I put Respiration 3 and Aqua Affinity on my helmet. I had to sacrifice a silence trim to do so, and that way I could get a whole bunch of clay underwater for terracotta and flower pots. Oh, look at that, more spruce wood. I'm noticing a trend here. I made like a 30-second journey into the nether again. I don't want to see this place ever again. To get some warped wood. Literally only needed like 7 warped stairs. So that's why I'm here. I went on another copper gathering mission because I didn't have enough for all the copper grates I needed. And here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing something else that I have never done in Minecraft before. Laying out copper like this so it can oxidize. I've never done this. I've never built with copper in survival mode. I've never even really touched it in survival mode, but I wanted some window designs, and these blocks were going to help me out with that a lot. Unfortunately, I needed the exposed stage of copper. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what it's called. And luckily, I have a honey farm down by my house, so making it waxed was no issue at all. Deep Slay! Another one of my favorite blocks to mine. No idea why. You can't instant mine it, but I find it satisfying to mine this block, because I know it's going to look good whenever I use it. And finally, after a whole bunch of other resources that I don't even want to bother mentioning, we finally gathered enough stuff. Right, so I just tried to record about 10 minutes of me speaking. Forgot to press the record button, so that's hilarious. But I was just showing how much things we got here. All of these shulkers are practically full things. If you want, you can pause to look at all the stuff. But I think you get the idea. It's a lot. It's a lot we need for this, because it's not just gonna be a storage room, it's gonna be a town as well. If we look at the mini-map, this entire area where my mouse is circling, it's gonna be a town. The storage room is gonna be up here somewhere. So, without further ado, let's begin building, finally. The first thing I wanted to build before the storage room itself was the village surrounding it. I started down here at the bottom and started creating a staircase up. And on either side of the staircase, I wanted to have 2 houses that were connected by a pergola. Sort of like a grand entrance into this village. Not so much grand, not so much a village, but something nonetheless. I made heavy use of the technique of shading, where I used darker blocks and corners and stuff, so it looks like the build is darker there. I'm very new to this style of building, but I really like it. I think I could get the hang of it pretty quickly. My method for this is wherever I think the sunlight wouldn't reach it normally, I would make it darker. So after the foundations were built, I began building up the houses themselves using some beehives, spruce logs, trapdoors, and then I connected the two roofs with a bunch of campfires to give it that pergola-like feel. Now here's where the copper grates come in. You can use these as beautiful windows, and when they have this texture, they blend right into most of these builds. I wasn't going to worry about the interiors of these homes. These homes wouldn't have anything to do with my storage room. They were sort of just there to make my storage room itself make sense. For the roofs of these homes, I just used simple spruce and andesite and an A-frame combo. Actually, I think this is called like a gabled roof. I don't know what the terminology is. We don't care. It's a simple roof. And immediately right next door, I started building another house. This one was not just a rectangle, it actually had some shape to it, but the foundation blocks were mostly the same as the first one. The difference was when it came to the second floor, instead of using oak wood, I used diorite blocks and the other white blocks. For this second floor, I didn't really care much about shading, it was just random texturing of the white blocks. The roof was also different, using deep slate and mangrove planks. This next house would have a different foundation palette entirely. I used granites, dripstones, bricks, acacia logs, and in some of these houses I built these little spires going up the middle. The idea is that these old houses would have these spiral staircases going up to their second floors in them. I don't know if that's how it worked in real life, but it looks cool in Minecraft, so I'm gonna do it. And for the second floor, I just did a simple spruce log combo. I used some dark oak fences and trapdoors instead of the regular spruce ones I had been using for window shutters, mainly because the top floor was already filled with spruce. Now at the top of these little spires, I actually built like lookout posts or like watchtowers. Maybe some of these villagers were guardians of this tiny little town, who knows. I then got to work on another house with a deep slate foundation. Deep slate and mud goes really well together. They're very dark blocks, and spruce also goes very well with them too. It was a good contrast to the reds and the grays that I had been using for these other foundations. For the second floor, I used dark oak this time, and instead of the normal grates for the windows, I used scaffolding on this one. Like with the original houses, if I separated a floor from another floor, I would do it with like a separation block like the beehives. On this one, it was barrels. On top of the barrels, I placed a bunch of birch logs and planks, and then did a simple spruce and tuff roof. This next house is probably one of my favorites because I tried to mix in a gradient with my shading tactic. I wanted to have a gradient going from red to gray, while also maintaining the shade using some andesites and tufts in corners. It's funny when I can actually get to use dirt in a house and have it work. The second floor of this house wasn't really the attention of this home, it was more so the foundation, so I just made a simple birch log and plank combo, like with the deep slate one. The roof of this build was just pure cobbled deep slate. It looks good. And once again, I tipped off the little spire with a watchtower. I was on a roll, so I continued. I started building a little inn over here. This is probably the simplest build in this town. Not very much shading or any significant building tactics, just a simple home. That being said, I did use another separation block besides the beehives and the barrels. I used smokers on this one, specifically the back side of them. On the second floor, I did a little bit of shading with some stone brick, tuff, andesite, and a light gray concrete powder. So you know what, maybe I lied. Maybe this build actually does have a bit of shading, just not on the foundation, which is normally where I would put it. I began building what I came to call the funny house. This is because the build that I'm creating here, I had to separate it into two schematics, and my schematic split this house in half. So by the time I was done with the first half of the schematic, the other half of the house just wasn't there yet. And finally, the last building in the town was a blacksmith. This one was really fun to build. Once again, it's a pretty simple foundation and concept, but I think it came out pretty good. Next thing I did was dig out a whole bunch of snow and replace it with dirt so I could turn it into path blocks. Normally I would use coarse dirt and like spruce slabs for these roads, but those blocks would get covered by snowfall. Path blocks don't, so that's why I used path blocks here, even though they look a little bit worse. And with that, the town was done. I moved all my chests and beds and stuff near the blacksmith, and I think for this one, I'm just gonna let you guys watch the time lapse because I don't know if I could explain what I'm doing here. It's very, very convoluted. So, hope you guys enjoy. Well, this is certainly something. I love that it's snowing right now. It's not, we're not done. There's still a lot of things left to do around this area, but the main building itself is complete. Yeah, I've been going for a while. I've built all this today, but I have to say, so far, besides some details we got to add, like some custom trees here and around the area. I'm about to go in here for the first time, see what it's like. It's covered in snow. Of course it is. Let's fix that. And now the snow is gone. So there's lots of floating things, lots of blocks I haven't placed, like a few I missed. I missed a hanging sign here, and I missed the chandeliers. I haven't completed those yet. But the main build is done. This is what our storage room is gonna look like in here. And we have a lot of chests. Should be plenty, and we can always stack more up there. I really like these windows. The fact you can just see the creeper farm from in here. And like, it's tall. It's super, super tall. That should be like that. And I love it. Making use of the mini blocks again, like in the last video. These finally made a comeback. This is what this looks like up here. Holy crap. Bruh. This area is like insanely developed now. Yeah, that's a good view. That's a very good view. Our storage room, but there's still a few more things we need to get done around here. So let's get to work on those. The first thing I had to do was finish the inside of the castle itself. I created a statue right in the centerpiece of a tough villager holding an emerald block. I then finally completed my chandeliers, making use of the player heads mod once again to have diagonal lanterns on the chandelier. And now here comes the fun bit. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of ice custom trees. And I wasn't just making 3 or 4 either. There's a lot here. But the one I was most excited to build was this one. And just like that, we're done. So I want to do something. Now that we're done with the build, let's see how it looks when we're just approaching it. Oh, the trees help so much. Oh my god, where do I land? I don't even know. Yes, perfect. This is just what I envisioned. I love that giant one. It's almost taller than the towers. And now I believe we are finally done this build. After however many hours it's been, we finally start actually moving our items into this place. I don't think that's something I should do on camera though, so I think this is probably gonna be where the video ends. I love these upper compartments, the massive windows. Oh my god, the trees. Oh my god. I love how those two the tower and the tree are like the same height. And with that, we are finally done this project. We are finally done this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making this massive project. This should hold all of our items for many, many episodes to come. And if it doesn't, who's to say we can't build another one somewhere? Thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you guys have any suggestions for this world, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.